And then Smooth Criminal punched me in the face. So, when it comes to exposing myself, I've only really shown how I've had problematic family members. But that's just the starting point. I was dealt the same hand by a different dealer when it came to my love life. So naturally, I have a whole catalog of L's that I have taken during my quest to find love. And side note, I did eventually find it. But this L makes me ask you the question, would you fight to protect your girl? Are you taking a bullet for shorty? Would you catch a grenade for her? Would you throw your hand on a blade? You know what? You must be out of this world thinking I'm going Bruno Mars for someone that I'm not legally attached to at the hip. Now, I don't agree with fighting over women. They aren't prizes to be won, or property for that matter. Shh. But I have been forced to do so in the past. Now, during the prime of my F-boy days, I started dating a girl that told me she was Brazilian, but actually was Russian. Now, I know, look, you're going to have questions, but please, I promise you, just bear with me. Now, she was a short, fiery ball of designer clothing and high expectations. We were the complete opposites in many categories, but somehow we were together. Even though my love for comics and anime almost made us break up multiple times, but the fact that I was a rapper about to get signed, it probably helped it last longer than it should have. But aside from that, I'm a hermit, a homebody, a homeless person mentally. I prefer to stay home and chill, but she would always want to go out and spend money that we didn't have. So she dragged me out of the house and had me take her to a mall that was a town over. Now, you could tell I wasn't enjoying myself. I'd rather be anywhere else instead of endlessly looking at someone try on things and say, how do I look? To me, that is hell. And I'd rather listen to Ye rant on repeat instead of that. Now, she doesn't like my face and proceeds to start firing off random statements to get me primed for an argument. But the thing is, about me, I don't like to do focused things while driving. Ask me a math problem, I'm pulling over. A shiny rare Pokemon across the street, I'm pulling over. So if we're gonna argue, I'm pulling over. So now we're in a random parking lot, fully going at it. She's screaming at the top of her lungs, and me, I'm rubbing my temples, pondering, is the box worth this headache? But since her words are failing at putting me into submission, she starts using her hands. And she was so lucky I didn't wake up Chris Breezy. But I grabbed both of her hands and held them tight, fixing to call her every foul word I knew. But then a hand reached through the window and grabbed her shoulder. Get your hands off of her, f***er. Mija, are you okay? Ven conmigo, chica. Now, remember, I said she claimed to be Brazilian, and this is in part to the fact that she keeps being mistaken for Latina. So the fact that a loud black man is in a car with her, he thinks this Latin girl, you know what, never mind, it doesn't matter. So I told him to mind his business and to take his hands off my girl. He did. And then Smooth Criminal punched me in the face. He's now leaning half into the car, taking off on me. I'm trying to undo my seatbelt and block at the same time. She's catching strays from his machine gun fist, no Kelly. But finally, I undo the belt and I shoot one punch off to let him know, now I'm ready. He tries to pull himself back out through the window. I open the car door, ready to reignite the black versus brown war. And I start to get up from my seat, but I notice something in front of me. Crossing the street, it's this tall white guy. He looks panicked. He looks like he's coming to save the day. But maybe it's all the shots to my head? But I forgot I was black. He proceeds to kick my car door, smashing it into my face, sending me back into the car, and proceeds to start punching me through the window. Thank God this man had no heat behind his punches. Like Don Juan the lawnmower god over there, I push the door open and fling him back and roll out of the car, ready to square up. The Mexican guy and the white guy are now both in front of me, looking at each other. No one is moving, but now my girl comes out of the car and she's yelling, "What are y'all doing to my boyfriend? Leave him alone." Mexican Nut starts talking to her in Spanish. I yell, "She doesn't speak Spanish, asshole. She's Russian." He looks like his world is crumbled. The white guy is like, "What's going on here?" What's going on? You rush me, strike me down, and now you want to know what happened? You want to know? Well, guess what? I don't feel like talking anymore.
Bring me the same energy you had when I was in the car.
The white boy started to back up. The Mexican was slowly losing his cape and the need to save a non-Latina. But to my credit, I must have looked crazy, with knots on my head, blood running down into one of my eyes, but still appearing ready to fight. But to be honest, I was lightheaded and seeing stars, so thank God they didn't call my bluff. Needless to say, they left. And once they did, I left her there. I didn't want to give her another chance to keep putting me in danger.